The Galactic Council had convened an emergency session aboard the massive station orbiting Nexus Prime. Representatives from 47 civilizations sat in tense silence, their various forms of communication creating a symphony of clicks, whistles, and telepathic emanations that the universal translators struggled to process. At the center of the amphitheater, a holographic display showed the most recent intelligence reports from the Sol system. Ambassador Zethkar of the Hegemony shifted, his crystalline form nervously. The humans have been unusually quiet for the past 3 cycles. Quiet is not the word I would use, interjected Commander Vextai, her chitinous exoskeleton gleaming under the station's artificial lighting. Silent. Completely silent. No trade communications, no diplomatic messages, no cultural exchanges. Nothing. The Vraxian delegate, a being of pure energy contained within a shimmering field, pulsed anxiously. Our deep space monitors detected massive energy signatures throughout their system, industrial activity on a scale we've never recorded before. General Korath, the Council's military advisor, stepped forward. His reptilian features were grave as he addressed the assembly. 3 months ago, we demanded that humanity comply with standard galactic warfare protocols. We gave them an ultimatum: conform to our civilized methods of conflict resolution or face economic sanctions. Civilized methods, scoffed the Andromedan representative. Limited engagement zones, scheduled battle windows, casualties capped at 0.3% of military forces. These are the rules that have maintained peace for millennia. And humanity's response? Asked Ambassador Zethkar, though he suspected he already knew the answer. General Korath's scaled hands clenched. They recalled every human diplomat, trader, and citizen from galactic space. Complete withdrawal. Then, he paused, accessing his neural implant. Then they transmitted a single message to the Council. The holographic display shifted, showing a simple text communication. Thank you for the educational experience. We will now prepare accordingly. Humanity. The silence that followed was deafening. Dr. Lyrian, the Council's xenobiologist, spoke, up with a trembling voice. We should have paid more attention to their historical records, the documents they provided during first contact. Entertainment media, dismissed Commander Vextai. Fictional accounts of impossible conflicts. Were they, though? Dr. Lyrian pulled up human historical data. The siege of Stalingrad, the Battle of the Somme, the nuclear doctrine of mutually assured destruction. We assumed these were exaggerations, impossible scales of warfare that no rational species would actually employ. The Andromedan representative's energy field flickered with what might have been fear. You're suggesting they were instructional materials? Before Dr. Lyrian could respond, alarms began blaring throughout the station. The tactical display erupted with sensor data as ships materialized at the edge of the system, not through standard FTL jumps, but through what appeared to be controlled spatial tiers. How many vessels? General Korath demanded. The sensor operator, a nervous betazoid, stammered as he read the displays. I can't get an accurate count, sir. The formations are unlike anything in our databases. They're not arranged for standard engagement protocols. The lead ship, a massive angular vessel that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it, opened a communication channel. The face that appeared on screen was unmistakably human, weathered, scarred, with eyes that had seen too much. This is Admiral Sarah Chen of the Terran Defense Coalition. We received your educational materials regarding proper warfare. We found them quaint. General Korath stepped forward. Admiral, this is highly irregular. Conflicts are to be resolved through appropriate channels, with designated engagement zones and— General, Admiral Chen interrupted, her voice carrying a weight that silenced the chamber. Let me share with you humanity's war doctrine, since you were so insistent we conform to galactic standards. The display behind her shifted, showing tactical readouts that made several council members recoil in horror. First, there are no civilian targets because there are no civilians in war. Everyone who supports the enemy war effort becomes a legitimate target. Second, there are no sacred sites, no off-limits locations, no safe zones. Everything that contributes to the enemy's ability to fight will be destroyed. Third, we do not fight for honor, glory, or sport. We fight to win, completely and permanently. She paused, letting the words sink in. Fourth, we do not limit ourselves to proportional response. If you attack one of ours, we will destroy 10 of yours. If you destroy one of our cities, we will sterilize 10 of your worlds. This is not cruelty. This is mathematics designed to make war so costly that rational beings choose peace. The council chamber erupted in horror and disbelief. Ambassador, Zethkar's crystalline form actually cracked under stress. This is barbarism. Genocide. You're talking about violating every law of civilized warfare. Admiral Chen's expression didn't change. These are the rules humanity has lived by for 10,000 years. They are why we survived when 99% of species would have gone extinct. They are why we unified our planet instead of destroying it. And they are why, when you demanded we change our ways, we chose to withdraw rather than teach you what human warfare actually looks like. She leaned forward, and every being in the chamber felt the weight of predatory evolution behind her gaze. Here's what's going to happen. Humanity will return to our corner of the galaxy. We will continue to trade, to share knowledge, to participate in your civilization. But never again will you attempt to dictate terms to us. Because the alternative is that you learn firsthand why, in all our fictional accounts, we never actually lost a war once we decided to fight it properly. The transmission ended, leaving the council in stunned silence as the human fleet simply vanished, taking their terrifying doctrines with them. In the years that followed, when conflicts arose in galactic space, there was always one constant. Everyone checked to ensure their actions wouldn't draw human attention. The stars had indeed gone quiet, not from fear of humanity's weapons, but from the terrible understanding of what humanity was willing to do with them. Peace, it turned out, was much more valuable when everyone understood the true cost of its alternative.